I guess staying on the Jackie Chan thing, I think Rumble in the Bronx probably was my initial obviously, like you said, American
The one that you first saw
viewing
in the
of this film.
theater.
Yeah, exactly. First time I saw that one, one of his films in the theater. Had seen clips of not clips, but had heard of Drunken Master, of course.
Yeah.
But never really got a chance to see the whole thing because
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't something you could just go out and rent easily
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah, mine was Operation Condor, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and then
Armor of God Part 2.
Yeah, yes, that's the one. And then was it First Strike? Jackie Chan's First Strike. That one I saw in theaters as well.
Nice. Yeah, I remember they went on a very long
it was a run.
Oh yeah, definite run of just re-releasing his films over here with different names and it was fun. It was a lot, a great introduction to an amazing talent. And to some of the stuff he was doing, obviously stuff you hadn't seen over here at all.
Oh no, hell no.
He was kind of one of a kind in that regard. But yeah, I think for a lot of people, the Rumble in the Bronx was that initial, like, all right, here's your taste of Jackie, and then we'll go from here.
I had to like watch it on on like rent it because I never got a chance to watch it in theaters. But then when I saw it, I was like, I had to run into show my mom that because like she's interested. So I think it's like me, my brother, and my cousins during the summer. Because I know I think it came that Operation Condor came out during the summer, so we all packed up, went to the theaters to go see it, and it was pretty dope. And
nice.
Like I said, the 3 day that I saw, like again, it was like that. It was like Operation Condor, First Strike, and then I think it was like Nice Guy or Mr. Nice Guy.
I remember Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, that little
super underrated.
It was that one scene where he was on the saw. I was like, whoa! And he showed, and when they went back and showed that replay, I was like, damn, he came close.
What's up to Hand of Omega in the chat as well? Go ahead, Dado.
I was gonna say because of Rumble in the Bronx and me starting to kind of get into watching some of his movies. I remember walking into the video store, looking around and seeing Rumble in Hong Kong and him being on the cover of Rumble in Hong Kong. So I rented it, and he wasn't the star of the movie. He was just some bad guy background character. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They're gonna market this as a Jackie Chan movie,
bro. That was the way, man.
That's a fucking ass.
They still do that now. They still do that now. Like they go back, they'll pick out like that film that we saw. We watched a little bit of over the weekend at your crib. That one with Jason Momoa in it. It was like, wait, Jason. That looks like Jason Momoa, but they didn't put his name on there. That was the first time I've ever seen that, where they had a bigger actor in an older film. Kind of a low budget. Just one of their early films. And then when they put it on, I guess it was the Vizio Free or whatever, the little streaming thing that's built into the Vizio TVs, they had it where his picture is there, but they don't mention his name, like the top billing or anything. It's just like, is this him or not? And then you watch the movie, it's like it's him. It's like, dude, you got Jason Momoa in your film. Build, big that up, like make people aware so they'll click on your film. So. Yeah, usually they were doing that a lot. I mean, even if you look back at Krull, we all know Liam Neeson was in Krull. He wasn't even remotely the star of that film, but now anytime you see Krull, Liam Neeson and then Ken Marshall, and it's like, bro, Ken Marshall is the star. Liam Neeson is a background dude.
But Ken Marshall was like a complete nobody.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, So anyway, Jackie Chan, long time and celebrated movie star, but another big movie star, and I mean big, I mean literally big, is Godzilla. Godzilla is celebrating his 70th anniversary this year, 70 years since the original Gojira came out in Japan. Subsequently came out over here in America as Godzilla King of the Monsters. Probably one of the most enduring film characters in history. I'm not sure where he stands as far as the amount of films that he has had in his library. You would think 70 years it would rival it maybe even surpass James Bond, but the James Bond franchise may still have by number more movies than Godzilla. Somebody have to fact check that and check that out for me, for sure. But one of the things that so Godzilla's got 38 films.
Yeah, 30. I'm sorry, this is slightly old. It's 39 now because this was listed before Godzilla Kong New
minus
Empire.
one?
No, Godzilla Kong New Empire.
Ah, I see.
So they're counting those then too.
Yeah. So 39 basically,
so 39.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many films does Bond have?
Bond is in Bond is in the 20s.
Okay.
Because I remember in one of the films, I think it was the one where the original Q finally had stopped playing the role because he did pass away. The replacement guy, who was played by John Cleese, gave him a watch. He's like, "Yeah, I believe this is your 20th." He literally was, making fun of the fact that this is the 20th film.
Yes.
So I think Bond is in 25. Let me see.
25. According to Preem. According to Preem, is 25. The 20 bonus points for those of you out there that can name what that 20th film was. Very good movie, by the way. Very, very good movie. But anyway, getting back to Godzilla. So, couple of news and notes. Obviously, I rewatched some old Godzilla movies. One of my favorites was Terra and Mechagodzilla, which to me, from the Showa era of the overly campy Godzilla, was probably one of the more serious entries that they had, as far as like Godzilla was a character, but he wasn't played like overly for camp. It was more about the aliens basically trying to bring Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla by using this scientist's dead daughter, turned her into a cyborg and had her basically be the control for Mechagodzilla. But she also had like some ESP powers. It was actually pretty sweet. But yes, I did start watching after that. Final Wars. Go ahead, GQ.
No, I'm just saying. You're saying that's not camp though. What you just described is not camp.
No, the way it was the way it was filmed and the way they did it. It wasn't campy.
Oh, okay.
Like it really wasn't campy. Yeah, it really wasn't campy. But anyway, so I digress. One of the things that is being celebrated all across the world is that Godzilla -1's director announced officially. I think it might have been Sunday. Announced officially that he is going to do a follow-up to Godzilla -1. So we had a funny little conversation in the pre-show. It's like, what are they gonna call it? Godzilla -2? Probably not, but maybe they call it Godzilla +1. I mean, that has other connotations.
Has there ever been a Godzilla 0?
No, actually. There has.
That's what I would call it if you're just moving through the number line.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's pretty good. I like that. It's definitely better than +1.
Right.
Like he's more than just
attending a dinner party or something.
Right. He's bringing his dinner date.
Right.
Yeah, he's bringing a dinner date. No, that would be pretty cool. Godzilla 0. Actually, wait, is there a Godzilla 0? I don't know. I don't think so. But we have
You're
to
the
look that up
Godzilla
too.
expert.
I don't recall there being a Godzilla 0, though. I don't remember there being a Godzilla 0. So
No.
I don't think there has been one. But I digress. But there is a Godzilla burger. And it's from this company in Texas. This restaurant called Trill Burgers. What a name, by the way. You could tell the name Trill Burgers is run by someone black. That's a black-owned restaurant.
Yeah,
it's a black-owned restaurant, totally. But Trill Burgers has their Godzilla burger, and if you look at the picture, Hand of Omega's right. +1 is Mothra. +1 is Mothra. So starting November 2nd, they're going to start serving these Godzilla burgers. And in the burger it's stacked with 2 smashed beef patties, teriyaki glaze, American cheese, pickles, shredded lettuce, sliced onions, avocado, crispy garlic tempura, garlic aioli, furikake seasoning, with a kick of optional wasabi mayo. Would you eat it?
What the fuck? You had mayo and aioli. It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
They did say optional.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. No, I'm good.
I'd eat it. Why not? I mean, I'd give it a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I like burgers.
Iguana Man is saying that's Bun B's restaurant. Interesting. Okay. All right.
Bun B?
Yeah, Bun B. He's a rapper.
The bottle's like Godzilla juice.
Did not know that. I did not know that was his restaurant. That's pretty
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is there just essentially one of them? Or this is not a chain?
Thrill Burgers? I don't think it's a big chain. I don't think it's a big chain.
This is McDowell's. No. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to be mean. It's literally McDowell's in that regard, because it's like, because when you show the address, I'm like, hold on, there's singling out this location. That's very cool though, because that's very much like McDowell's. It's like, hey, got my location here. That's cool though.
The B in according to Preem, the B in Bun B stands for burger. I don't know if that's real or not, or if he's just trolling, but it sounds okay to me. But the packaging that it comes in is kind of legit. But I don't know about that burger, man. I'm be front.
What don't you know about the burger? It got meat on it. It got some accessories.
For me, I'm not a big avocado guy, especially even on a burger. So I probably wouldn't do the avocado.
I can say something to make everybody not like avocado anymore.
I'm gonna ask you to hold your tongue and not ruin people's dietaries, their diet plans.
I told Preem that shit in blew his head.
Oh, man, don't say it. Just don't say it.
I want to know now.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. I do.
You want to go there?
What is it? I gotta know.
What is it?
Don't know if this is true or not, but I just saw it because, of course, whenever you see stuff on the internet, me being the person who I am, don't take it for true or not. But they say that avocado tastes like a clean penis.
Okay. So that means that somebody whoever said that, at some point in their life has cooked up and ate penis.
Yes.
I don't know, either that or they're just how they taste when they're sexually gratifying somebody. But that's what
when
it
they're
was
doing
saying.
a little bit of filleting.
And I said, shit.
Yeah.
How
you do?
Wow.
I'm about to do my Vincent Vega. Guacamole tastes good.
Yeah. Wow.
So
guacamole does taste good.
So
but that shit was wild when I heard that. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Why would somebody say that?
I love it.
I'd have been like,
it doesn't. How
man, how you know?
Marcus,
how you know?
Marcus, you trying to walk in on?
Yeah, what did I just walk in on? Yeah,
he's talking about the burger. The B for burger is
right.
Doesn't stand for burger. I think he was saying that the B for burger.
I hope so.
He missed that. I hope he missed that one part.
And it will make it real quick back to the Godzilla thing. So I'm sorry, we're still on the Godzilla thing. Monster Zero's secret identity is, and he says only real Godzilla fans know this.
I already know what that is. Y'all,
okay.
Most of y'all some of y'all should know it. Simon says you know this too, don't you?
Yeah, it's what's the name? Fucking
tell me what's his name?
Ghidorah, King Ghidorah.
He's struggling there for a second, but yeah, he got it.
No. I was struggling. I'm trying to remember. I know but again, man, I know I'm struggling, but damn it.
Yeah, it's Ghidorah. Yeah, Ghidorah was Monster Zero.
I mean, for a name for a film, I just think Godzilla Zero would work. Because especially if they haven't, used that before in any of the other films, so like why not?
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. I think it would be a dope name. I think it'd be a very dope name, just to be Godzilla Zero. I'm just excited to see where they go with it after the story. Because honestly, the Godzilla in Godzilla minus one was probably the most imposing Godzilla we've seen on screen. Imposing in as far as like, okay, he looks scary. He's definitely there for destruction. He's not trying to find a nuclear source to eat. He's literally there just to break shit. Like that's literally what he's there for. That's it. All right. So speaking of other anniversaries, pivoting to this one, John Wick is at 10 years old. It's been 10 years since the first John Wick. It doesn't seem that long, but it's been 10 years since John Wick first came out. The co-creator David Leitch on on the Actioners Impact says everybody wants their own John Wick. So that got me thinking, and I asked the guys when we talked about it, what are some popular or maybe less popular John Wick clones that we've seen out there? And which ones do you think are the best?
I like Nobody. I thought that was a pretty decent clone of John Wick. I would like. I'm like, because they did say it was a possibility for a sequel, but I don't know where they are at with it. But I thought it was pretty good. How
I'll
it's like
answer in a second. Let me look it up.
yeah. Hey, you haven't seen it yet, or
no,
Nobody? No, it's good, man. Nobody is good.
I know it is. It's on my list of things to watch. I just haven't taken the time to watch it yet.
Yeah, but yeah, they hinted that it might be a sequel because like the end part did give.
There's no hint that it is in production right now. Release date for August 15th of next year.
Oh, Nobody with what's my man?
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. I saw that movie.
So okay, listen to this. So you guys tell me because I haven't seen it yet. But here's the cast list so far: Bob Odenkirk, Christopher Lloyd, Connie Nielsen, Sharon Stone,
Interesting.
Colin Hanks, RZA, and John Ortiz.
Okay.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd and RZA were in the first one.
No, I know. It's always anytime I think of Christopher Lloyd, it's just hilarious to me that he's still out there doing his thing, which is great. I'm glad that he is.
Yeah.
No, man. His cameo in The Mandalorian season 3 was hilarious, though.
Oh, yeah,
it was hilarious.
That was not expected. It was like
at all.
He's doing what I think everybody does. If you got a chance to be in Star Wars, damn it, you take that. You go ahead and accept that opportunity.
Jump on that shit real quick.
I looked up a list from Screen Rant, and they've got a list of what they consider to be the 10 John Wick clones that you need to see. They put Accident Man on there, which is with Scott Adkins. Now, some of these,
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it actually, but some of these don't feel like they're Wick clones.
Yeah, really.
Not to me, and I think I'll bring up the reason I say that in a moment. They also have Atomic Blonde on the list and Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. I think, and also for some reason, Violent Night is on here, which is like. That's not a Wick clone. To me, I said this in pre-show. I believe, honestly, John Wick is a kind of amalgamation, if you want to say evolution, of Taken, the character from Taken. Like it's a character who has a past, who is not necessarily in his life the way he originally was. Obviously, Liam Neeson's character still was working in security, very far removed from his, days of the CIA. I forgot which agency he was with, but whatever, which government agency and government work. But had a huge catalyst in life. Was like, okay, you got to go back to your old ways to be a hard ass like you used to be. Daughter gets kidnapped, and I've got a very set of skills and blah blah blah. So you get that. John Wick, very much in the same vein. Contract killer.
Baba Yaga.
Left the life. Yeah, his wife passed away. That would have, that he was waiting to just grieve and just get over it and get through it. My man comes in from Game of Thrones. Kills his dog. I'm going back to that old life. He wanted to just go back just for a hot minute and then just retire. Nope. You in it now. You're back to that life. You're in it.
You brought me back.
Yeah, exactly. You pulled me back in. So a lot of these movies that they've listed, it's like, nah, these people that's their life. They're already doing that. That's what they do. Kenshiro had brought up Man on Fire, which in my opinion, and then I'm going to throw this to the chat as well and see what you guys think. I don't think it really is the same because it's not that Denzel's character, he true enough was trying to, just retire, chill, do his own thing. Christopher Walken's character offers him the opportunity for some quick money, do a bodyguard job, for this family. he already accepted that job. So he was already doing the job at that point. Now, granted, the little girl gets kidnapped and he gets ambushed and all that, but that's not something that pulled him back into it. He already was doing it. That's why I don't really keep it on the same level as being maybe a Wick clone, even though it's one of Denzel's better roles or best roles. So
just wanted to give a shout out to Teabag Trinity Tyrant that he would like to have a beer with us, so I won't kick. Just wanted to say what's up, man. Yeah.
Hey,
Final
Absolution.
Yep.
That's a good segue. What we a good one to share with? So Final Absolution is a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Daito? What would you, if you were to crack a beer? What's your beer?
You already stole it.
We discovered it at the same time. What are you talking about?
I know.
I haven't had a Final Absolution in some time.
My man, look at it. GQ, he looking at you sideways, man. It's like,
right.
Oh, my idea.
Spill my drink, bro.
He was all out at
this is the Culture Junkie signature drink. You can't just say it's mine.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
all right.
The night we discovered that was like, oh my god, where has this been all my life?
Right, this is great.
Because I remember we ordered it based on the name alone. We went down the whole list of just everything they had.
Final Absolution.
Final Absolution.
It's a great drink.
Let's try that one. Tried it, was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only problem with it is it's so stupid expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Cream says Soft Parade Summer Shandy, so he's a shandy.
That one's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, Soft Parade Summer.
You can't get that all year round. Shandy,
I do enjoy Oberon. And a good Oberon is pretty good too.
All right.
Oberon.
Simon says.
Oberon cannoli.
I'm gonna steal a quote. You can have any brew that you want, as long as it's a Corona.
Okay. That's fair.
Corona's like water, bro. It's like it's just
no. It's
most
pilsners. It just I don't know, man. It just it just don't really have no real flavor to me. You know what I mean?
That's why they put the lime in it.
Exactly. Corona with lime to me is great. I don't
Corona
have any
lime is
problem
pretty
with
good, but I think I would like something else. But that's just me. I digress. Let's get back to the John Wick combo, right? So out of the chat, someone had mentioned Atomic Blonde. Head of Omega. Head of Omega said Atomic Blonde.
Okay.
I saw it. It was all right. I don't really.
I don't remember if I saw that one or not.
Yeah, it was dope. I actually enjoyed it.
I think I have it digitally, but I just haven't watched it.
John Wick is like a live action Sakamoto Days. That's anime I'm looking forward to, by the way. Sakamoto Days.
Yeah,
very much looking forward to that.
Beekeeper. I don't know about Beekeeper.
Beekeeper. Yes.
Beekeeper is actually a really good close one. But again, he already was that.
Yeah.
No, granted, he wouldn't know.
He was retired.
He was retired. He was pulled back into it. You're right, because he had a replacement by that point. No, so you're right. Beekeeper falls in.
Yeah, I'll take that back.
Trying to raise my bees, motherfucker.
That was actually a really good movie, though. So like, that was actually a really solid.
You went and saw that in the theater, right? Thought you said
did I? Yeah, I saw that one in the theater. Yeah, I saw that one in the theater. I saw that, and then very shortly after it, Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Okay.
That movie was great.
That movie was
that
was Guy Ritchie at his best with that movie.
Yes,
I was like,
that movie was
fun.
Great. It was so great.
But,
okay.
I would love to see them do a John Wick anime, like for real.
I thought they were. I think they are.
It's in production.
Oh, okay.
One in production.
Good.
Yeah, that in a video game too. I think it's a video game as well.
Video game I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Long overdue.
I think they made a video game, but it's not like anything that you think of. Like if you guys ever heard of Super Hot.
You're right. You're right.
I think it's sort of like Super Hot.
Yes, heard of Super Hot. Super Hot.
Yeah.
Super Hot. Yep. Someone had mentioned over on this Reddit thread I'm on, said Sisu is like that. But
that's on that list as well.
Extraction is that those Chris Hemsworth
movies?
Chris Hemsworth.
Okay. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
Okay. Pig with Nicolas Cage is a subversion of the genre, but that doesn't really count. What about Hotel Artemis or Bullet Train? Do those count as
Hotel Artemis? No,
Yeah, Hotel Artemis.
I saw that movie. It was like it had nothing to do with like John Wick. It was like more like a heist movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it was a the only thing that's even close is like it had the continental
like hotel
hospital basically.
Hospital like rules basically, yeah. Which I thought was hilarious.
Broke.
And last one I would love to bring up Kate with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but someone mentioned it as possibly something that might be pretty good. So John Wick at 10 years, that's crazy. Still can't believe it's been 10 years.
Do you need to hit the toilet?
No.
The way he grunted.
Sometimes when you do a build and shit just wants to fall off for no reason because whoever designed
that's funny.
Lock it into place. I don't do the poo on myself anymore. I have since grown and I can make myself to the toilet. And I have a wonderful toilet that washes and dries your own butt. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I am.
Bidets.
Oh yeah, Monkey Man. I don't know about that one. I heard it was kind of how it looked. It kind of did look. I got John Wick vibes.
John Wick clone. I did too. Yep. It was marketed as one.
Did we lose GQ?
We did lose GQ. I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he will be back. I'll switch to
just me this time.
3-man weave until GQ can manage to rejoin us. But moving along to that sucks. Wow. Thank you, Marcus X4. Said the Hornets beat the Pistons at the buzzer. That sucks.
But you're mean,
I was gonna rewatch that game, so thank you for removing any need for me to do so. Anyway, moving right along. So let's turn the page to Agatha All Along. The series, don't say my bad like you actually are feeling bad over it, because you just wanted to rub it in, you me and our little sports city rivalry. You just mad because the Lions are up on top and your Panthers are probably going to be in the dumpster for like a next
because we play them like this.
I don't think we play them this year. We don't play them this year.
Okay.
No, we don't play him this year. Okay. Maybe next year, but we don't play him this year. I'm sure he's glad for that. I'm sure he's glad we don't play him again this year, because it was pretty bad last time.
Probably throwing him to
it was a clown show last time we played the Panthers, but I digress. Yeah. Agatha All Along. The series wrapped up, and I was hesitant to watch it at first. I wasn't that excited about it. I'll be full disclosure. Wasn't excited, but now that the series is over, people can have their chance to binge. It's 9 episodes, which is a pretty decent amount. I think most of the episodes were like 35-40 minutes, but they always moved along at a brisk pace. They definitely told their story every episode. It felt like every episode was pretty self-contained while also moving the narrative along, which totally defeats any notion of there being pacing issues or whatnot. But I wanted to hear what you guys thought of Agatha All Along as
a show. Because I haven't finished it just yet. I started on.
Oh no!
You could talk about what have you
started?
I
don't care. Right. You can talk about it.
What have you seen so far though? How many episodes would you say?
Maybe that's the first one, but I already know what happens because I'm that good. Yeah, so.
You already know what happens because you're that good.
You tell me what happened. I want to know.
So I guess Lady Death is in this movie. Is the new? I guess we have Lady Death now. So
Death is definitely in the movie. In
that's
the
cool.
Show, but she's not the protagonist or anything.
I'm just saying there. Lady Death is here, so that's good. I've been wanting that shit for a while.
Yeah, but
back with us.
Marcus said he didn't watch it. Yeah, Marcus 864. It's very disappointing to hear when certain nerds in the nerddom decide on not watching something. Once we say it's good, you should be like,
Don't believe nobody else. Believe your boys over here.
I think we should go. We should watch it, especially if you're going to be along on our journey of this show. Because if we start talking about it, it can become a little spoilerific, Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it's not Lady Death, dude. It's just death. It's the death that Thanos wants to bang.
Yeah,
except for Agatha was banging her.
Yeah, considering who was playing Death, I can understand that.
Yeah, I could do.
Yeah, I can
understand
too.
He said, "I can dig it. I can dig it. You can dig it. We can dig it.
Totally
they can dig it.
Absolutely,
totally dig it."
But even
what
still,
even
still, I think that would have been a horrible reasoning behind it for
Thanos
and all that other stuff. Yeah, I would have been like, dude,
you're a simp for death.
Yeah, he's just simping. Which again, that's comic book accurate, but I like the whole, he reasoned that, Earth, I'm sorry, not Earth, but the entire universe needs to be balanced. That's more the thinking of somebody that's crazy. I thought that was,
But if you really think about it, he, after all him being simping all that with her, she still just says,
yeah. She's like, I like Deadpool better.
Yeah, I like Deadpool.
which is messed up.
That is funny.
They did a great job with this show, in my opinion. Considering that she literally was just a meme. Now, granted, she has lots of roots in the comics. I understand all of that. But I'm just saying, in the sense of, for people that were the general audience, she was a meme at first with that song. When that song came out and it was Agatha All Along and all that, that was the meme. That was the most popular meme for a little bit during that time. And the next thing you know, they're like, yeah, we're gonna do a show about her, because her character was really, really well done. Like, Catherine Hahn does an amazing job with the character. And like I said, I got to give props to the entire cast of the original WandaVision, just the way they handled all of those different decades of television that they were basically going through, and really actually giving you kind of that feel of every single genre and every single style they did. Everybody just kind of fell into their roles, and it worked very well. So for her to come into this one and they have a little bit of that same feel to it was really well done. So I enjoyed it.
I think it was kind of jacked up though, because you think about it, it was really a sequel to WandaVision in a way, because two characters did the exact same fucking thing, not knowing how they did it, and it was fucking with people and all this other stuff, and everybody, like the whole Witch's Row thing, I thought was fucking just crazy on how it was all just made up.
Yeah.
But my man brought it to life, and he didn't know that he brought it to life. I thought the freaking show was done, like you said, done real well. Each episode was contained real well, told its story for each individual person, and they put it all together. In the beginning, it felt like they were doing a movie and they were cutting it up, but now that I think about it, it was very much episodic, and it was done well. Still think it should be a little bit longer, and because I don't like some episodes being shorter than others. I prefer them all 45 plus, but it is what it is.
How short do you think it should have been? If you think about it.
Hour-long episodes. I just like hour-long episodes for things like that. I don't like half-hour-long episodes. This hour is not 22 minutes. Like, come on, give me the length.
Full hour.
If it's not going to be a full hour, make it as close as possible. 47, 50 minutes, and then you can have your freaking 10 minutes of credits or whatever. But I thought it was done real well, and I can't wait to see, because they're speculating that because the search for Speed is going to happen now. Now you know who Wiccan is, and they say that supposedly they're going to show up again in Vision Quest, which is Vision's show. But
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool, because I like the fact that they brought in the white version of Vision, straight from the comics, and had their own take on it. And there's so much that they can do with those side characters, and I'm glad that they're actually exploring a lot of the other stuff beyond the greater MCU stuff with the Avengers and all the other heavy hitters and the now A-listers.
I was kind of like I was wondering what they were going to do with the other Vision, because at the end of WandaVision he was gone. I was like,
he just left.
How do you let a $200 million android just bounce?
$200 million would be like $200 billion.
Right. Well,
it's but not have a
power. What are you going to do? How are you going to stop him?
I would definitely have one of them detonating chips in his head just in case some shit like that happens. Come on, man.
Remember what they said? Remember what they said even in Endgame? Vision turned his transponder off. I'm sorry, in Infinity War.
Because they tried that before.
Well,
I know the new one can do it.
I don't know about that. I think he's like a lesser version of Vision, to be honest.
Not anymore. I mean, it's the same body. That's the whole thing. First off, it was the same body. Because if you think about it, that body was being made by that doctor that was in that Korean doctor. So the body is something that they could have put back together anytime.
So you're saying that
Tony Stark to do that. It was the consciousness of what Vision was that was missing. But it was given to him by the Hex Vision. So like he is essentially Vision. That's why they were talking about the ship of Theseus whole thing, because like if you were to take like this Lego and replace a piece by piece, would it not be the same thing? I mean, that's kind of what they were getting at. So
he is now Vision that as we knew him, minus the Mind Stone so far. So he's it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm looking forward to that show when it does finally drop. I hope they stick with this style of having a showrunner, because that really helped. In my opinion, it really helped Agatha as far as just keeping it on pace, keeping the pacing, really, concise and consistent, and also the stories. Like Dido said, each episode was just a really good contained story that moved on to the next thing.
Gotcha.
So the Legos of Theseus.
Yeah, exactly. If I replace one piece over time, would I not have a new? Would it be the same? And you have two? Yeah, I mean, just it is what it is. But I don't know. The show did kind of lead you to a lot of different ways, I think, making you think and speculate other stuff. Because once you found out at the end that it was all a doing of Billy, you thought that everything was going to come, like all the people that were killed were going to come back. And I was like, that's not happening. And then like the whole, and then the whole thing with Death, like, why was she coming around? A lot of people were saying, my speculation she was coming around is because she made a deal at that time when she was going to lose her son. She said she needed more time. And then she probably told her she was going to bring her more bodies. She took her son, but she continued to bring her bodies. Now, Death showed up because she was under that forced amnesia, and she stopped bringing her bodies. So Death showed up to say, what the hell is going on? Where's my bodies? And then Billy shows up at the same time with all this, random bullshit that was put together. And then she was like, well, I'm going to get your bodies because this kid is over here like, oh, we're going to do the Witch's Road. And she knows that the Witch's Road is just a way for her to get, to get bodies. And I think that's like the other part, because Death, what was her point in being there? She was just, I think she was there to collect, and because she didn't freaking fulfill what
she was there to collect, but she also wanted to get Billy.
Yeah, that too.
She wanted to get,
but she couldn't just get him.
Right, she couldn't just get him. He was, I don't even understand why it is she couldn't just get Billy either. Was it because Wanda's protection on him was too strong, or what? I don't understand. That's the part I didn't get. Oh, she said he has to come willingly. She couldn't just take him, which he has to surrender his soul because he escaped from the hex bubble. When it collapsed or whatever. Which everything how they did that, along with and GQ and I was talking about this when he came over to my house a few days ago, when we were talking about the story with the divination witch, and she was basically how she was living her life completely out of order, and it wasn't literally that she was crazy. Her consciousness was literally jumping through time in her own body, which was wild. That's a wild storytelling thing.
Because I go back in time in my own mind, like right now, like I'm a millionaire.
No, I really enjoyed, even like you said, with even that aspect and that way of storytelling. That's one of my favorite things in all of television, cinema, and everything, is a really good reveal, kind of a, just take a step back and we're about to show you all of this various stuff and how this all ties together. Like, very similar to how they did The Usual Suspects and the whole clue with Kaiser Sose and all that. I love stuff like that. So for Agatha to have that moment with Wiccan was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And again, if you're paying very, very close attention to stuff, you pick up on it. There's some stuff that obviously they didn't, show you, so it was left for the reveal later. I like storytelling like that, so I hope they continue. Go ahead.
I was going to say they had hints left and right, like
no,
so much,
absolutely,
so many hints, like it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, they did a great job with it, all, like completely, and it's so funny. All of those, and like I said, I'm going to continue to call them nils. Out there were saying this show's going to fail and it's not, good, but it's like you watch 2 or 3 episodes, you got to get there for the whole pizza. Once the pizza is completely ready and finished, then you can say if it's good or not. This show was good.
And even me, not necessarily being a complete nil, but someone that wasn't like 10 toes down for the show going in, someone who kind of wanted to wait till later, and I'll see it when I get to it, kept hearing all these good things, so eventually I got around to watching one episode turned into 2, then 2 episodes turned into 3, and then it was like really late at night and I had to go to bed, but I was pissed because I wanted to keep watching more. That's how good it was. Right.
And you're not a nil though. That's different. Like a nil is somebody that's just, down and negative about everything from whatever company or, whatever show or whatever. You just didn't, like you said, you didn't have a particular interest in seeing it, but you weren't opposed to watching it. Like, so that's a whole different thing.
Yes, that point is true. It's always helpful to keep an open mind with really anything in the genre space, because everybody is always crying about, they made everything. The MCU's a formula. They're cranking out the same story over and over again, and then when they give you something different, you complain about that too, because now it's not familiar. Now you don't recognize the characters, or you're not invested in the characters. Well, pick a struggle. Like, do you want it to be different, or do you want it to be the same? Like, what is it? Like, literally, what is it? So I digress.
I think the other thing people have to understand, though, is certain things need to be formulaic, because that's just what works. Captain America and Winter Soldier, being an espionage spy thriller, worked for that. But people, it's literally one of those, people love to say, well, nobody asked for this. With Captain America Winter Soldier, nobody asked for that particular Captain America movie, which could have easily just been another action movie. To be in a spy espionage thriller. Ends up being one of the best films out of the entire franchise.
Yes,
but nobody asked for them to do it that way. But okay, and that's fine. You can try new things. Sometimes things work. Turning Thor Ragnarok into more of a comedy, thing, kind of moving it away from the Shakespeare.
Because
moving it away from the Shakespeare. So
because they didn't like the seriousness with what was it, the second one. The Dark World.
First two, really.
First two. It's like, okay, this was like way too serious. No one liked it. And then when they went on to the comedy version, the comedic aspect of it with Ragnarok, they're like, oh man, Thor should be serious. It was like, okay, make up your mind. You didn't like it when it was serious, and then you don't like it when it's like, a little jovial. So
to me, Ragnarok is still probably the best of the Thor movies. Thor 1. Some people I know are gonna say Thor: Love and Thunder is probably number 2, but it's not for me. I just feel like they leaned a little too far into the comedy into the comedy realm. But there's always a good medium, and not everything needs to be for everybody. I think that's also something we have to, people need to own in their hearts, that not everything has to be for everybody, and you're not obligated to watch and consume everything. Just because you were a fan of one thing.
Watch and consume it all.
I mean, and you can do that too.
Go to the buffet and eat it all.
I mean, yeah, all that is true, but just make sure you're not too judgy, because it's not exactly everything
and
you want
judge
to be.
everybody. You call yourself a fan. Huh? No, just kidding.
Well, Wanda Man says they're gonna have a lot more to complain about and whine about, because in December you got What If, Spider-Man in January, Captain America in February, Daredevil in March, Thunderbolts in May. It's about to be, MCU is coming like full swing, coming back, man. That's gonna be fun.
Which is weird, because didn't they say they were literally going to be slowing down and ramping down, and now it seems like they're ramping right back up. Which is
the movies.
I think they were slowing down for the movies. I don't think they were slowing down for anything else.
Okay, we'll see. So as far as to put a final cap on Agatha All Along, if you had to give it a score 1 out of 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the best, what would you give it?
Me, 4.5.
Okay.
4.3. 4.2.4.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yes,
There's no aggregate here. You can give us a nice round whole number. 4.5 is good enough.
I give it a 4. I give it a 4.
4? Okay.
Like Dado said, some stuff could have been longer. I know at least out of I think the final 3 episodes, 2 of them were like very close to like just under the 30-minute mark. If you obviously get rid of that 5 minutes of credits,
yeah,
Didn't,
to run.
was
But
it Loki or was it Loki or WandaVision? The last episodes were like an hour long or something like that. I can't remember.
Loki was like an hour long.
Okay. Yeah, I think Loki was the only one. WandaVision was very much that TV, 30-minute standard. But yeah, I think Loki had it. And again, I don't mind. It's a double-edged sword. I don't mind sometimes if look, if you just don't have anything else to tell in this particular segment of the story, don't stretch it out just for the sake of stretching it out either. Because that really does bug me. Where it's just like, okay, y'all are just trying to fill time and you don't have anything else to tell. So I don't know. If they do start doing the 1 hour long shows, which would be great, they got to make sure the story needs that, because that's one thing that the Penguin does perfectly. Every minute of those episodes is good. It's like you sitting there like, dude, that's crazy. Oh, okay. They going there? All right, sweet, cool. And then it's over. You're like, damn it, more.
Yeah,
more. And that's the feeling I want to have with some of these upcoming MCU shows. It's like, get me back into that feeling of we taking you right to that cliff, and we're gonna park like with two wheels hanging off the edge of the cliff, and we coming back next week.
All right, guys, we to wrap up this one, just to put a nice little bow of where Agatha All Along ranks. For those of us that have watched the complete series, we've had 11 MCU or Marvel Studios TV shows, omitting the special presentation for Werewolf by Night. Where would you rank Agatha All Along amongst those 11?
That's difficult to get out to say, because
is it?
Unlike most of you guys, I take every show for they're different. They were like reading a different comic book or whatnot, and some of them were. If you're trying to compare them to the other ones, it's kind of different to compare them, because like every show did something differently. Like I enjoyed She-Hulk because it was not an action movie. It was meant to be kind of a court drama comedy, which my understanding is like the comic book. I wanted more out of Moon Knight, and I thought we were going to get more out of Moon Knight, but Moon Knight was trying to explore, like, I guess the psychosis of a person and the multiple personalities or whatever. And for me, I have a hard time doing that, because like I said, I enjoy them all for their different reasons and different
and I understand that. So can you rank them based off of your personal enjoyment?
I can't remember all of them, but I like it, so it's high. It's up there.
Would you say top 5 or top 10? I mean, it's easy to be in top 10, maybe top 5.
It'd probably be in the top 7.
Top 7. Okay, that's good enough. GQ, what about you? Would you say top?
I think Dado and I are on the same boat on this one. Honestly, it's in the top. For me, it's top 5. Honestly,
okay, top 5.
I think, but like he said, it's easier to just look at each of these things as their own thing if they have tie-ins to other stuff. Because again, obviously, this ties in heavily to WandaVision. Clearly, it's like you said, it's a sequel to WandaVision, basically. But Moon Knight is its own standalone graphic novel, basically. That just it might mention some other stuff, but it sits in its own lane, basically. Loki obviously very heavily connected to the MCU proper, the main stuff. So it's harder to, like you said, compare them between each other, because some of them aren't meant to be part of the greater. They're in it, but they're not trying to reference things or whatever. They're just there. as their own entities. But yeah, no, WandaVision is obviously for me one of the top ones. So this being a very good sequel to it is right alongside it. So
okay, for me, I probably, if I had to think about it, personal enjoyment, right? My favorite is still WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier, for me personally, I think is my number 2. Loki is number 3. I very much enjoyed Miss Marvel, so that'd be number 4. It might be a toss up between She-Hulk and Agatha All Along for top 5. You know, so I'd put it in my top 5 of MCU Marvel Studios TV shows. I would.
Yeah, I enjoyed She-Hulk. Real quick before we get to chat, I enjoyed She-Hulk. My only issue with it was its pacing. I enjoyed what they did with it in the sense, like you said, the fourth wall breaking, the courtroom drama, all of that. I think that it was just kind of on. It was kind of like start stop, and it felt like start stop a lot with that show. But I did enjoy, you know, the way they handled the character. But go ahead. We were saying something like that.
Yeah. So Hannah Omega was right. Does everyone just put Secret Invasion on the bottom? That's low hanging fruit. Yes,
but Secret Invasion, I think, had the most expectation out of everybody because of what it was supposed to have done, and it didn't do any of that stuff.
I think it squandered a lot of opportunity that it had. It had a pretty solid cast. I think, you know, the spy narrative, the alien invasion takeover narrative with the Skrulls and stuff like that, I thought was fascinating, but it just didn't deliver like it should have. Skrull Rhodey was cool though. Skrull Rhodey was as an op was kind of cool.
Rhodey.
Yeah, Skrull Rhodey
was hold on. Simon says you've read Secret Invasion, right? The original book.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on the show versus obviously the books?
No, it didn't land like it should have. And plus, like you're missing out on like a ton of like other characters that should have been in it. But of course, you can't like bring everyone onto the table for a TV show. It's not gonna happen. I take it back. If you wanted to, you can, because
it'd be way too much explanation. Though.
Yeah, it's way too much, and then you have to like go back. I mean, if you really think about it, how it came about, they figured it out was Spider-Woman. I was like, I don't know if you want to get it
in the MCU.
Yeah, she ain't been like introduced yet, so I don't know how you want to produce.
Yeah, that is. I'm sorry, I was going to say that is without question. Iguana just put it up there. That is the biggest dropped plot thread that Secret Invasion had. Secret Invasion has set up the Skrulls as a major villain for the MCU overall, and they just dropped it, just ignored it.
Yeah,
nothing happened.
I think the one thing that I did enjoy about Secret Invasion, because I remember after seeing Captain Marvel, Megatron and I had this conversation where, like, obviously he knows the Skrulls from the comics, and it's like, well, the Skrulls are always evil. I'm like, hold on now. That's literally like saying all Muslims are evil because of what happened at 9/11. It's like that's not how that necessarily goes down. And I think them having a set of Skrulls that are like, look, man, we're just trying to find a spot. We trying to live. We trying to just live, enjoy life. Yes. I thought that was a really good way to approach it. Of like, nah, there's good people amongst this alien race here.
Technically, they're homeless if you really think about it.
Right, right. But then what Secret Invasion could have established and did kind of establish is like, nah, there's some that are like, look, man, we tired of this trying to run around and figure something out. We got a spot here that we're gonna take over. And then you have that more radical. Yeah, it's like you have that more radicalized militant evil, if you want to put it in quotes, Skrull. And then, like Iguana Man said, you could have had that thread just pushing through, where it's just like, dude, is this a Skrull or not? Has this person been replaced or not? It's very Invasion of the Body Snatchers and all that, but it's still something that you could have built on that could have easily leaked over into the films instead of just, oh, we're gonna do Super Scroll, and then we're gonna have like her. It's like, no, you don't need to rush this. Just
no, you don't. And the thing is how it ended. It led to the formation of the Illuminati.
And
in
the comics, yes.
In the comics.
Okay,
sorry, in the comics.
Yeah, in the comics, 100%.
But yeah, I think if the dynamic, if they would have like made it, like, I would say, because like they wanted to speed things up and make it a little bit more like, just like throw the espionage in there. But if they like, I would say slowed the pace of the actual series to the point where it's like, what's gonna happen next? Can we make this into like something that can like bleed over and possibly like make it into like, say for instance, if they decide to do Miss Marvel again, like a second season of Miss Marvel, they bleed the scrolls into Miss Marvel where she's like she's like in training with Nick Fury and all that stuff, like from the Marvels, the second one. And she's going through training, and she like stumbles upon like a sleeper cell of scrolls, and then go through there. That would be that. I think that could have like helped maybe bridge that to a Secret Invasion movie. But how the pacing was like, oh man, they could have did a lot better.
Now, Hand of Omega says Marvels of all projects should not have ignored it. Did Secret Invasion come before Marvels? Or did it come the other way around? I thought Marvels
came after. It came after.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. Marvels came after Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvels
then that.
But they didn't think about it though. I don't know if they like. I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if it kind of like how. Well, I mean, they were already in production, but I mean, like I said, they did like Miss Marvel season 2 and bleed it over into Miss Marvel. That could actually work if you really think
There's
about it.
There's a lot of things that went wrong there. I think some people would just chalk that up to Chapek just okaying everything with literally very little or no quality control as far as like story goes, because it seems like they just threw a bunch of stuff out there and said, okay, let's see what sticks, and then maybe we'll do something with it. And then Iger came back and was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. You get out of here, basically.
Because they did announce a movie though before they did series. It was like how they had the I guess like the Marvel
like the roadmap.
Yeah, the roadmap. I believe so. I'm not sure.
I just think that whole plot thread where even the president acknowledged the existence of the scrolls and that they were kind of like invading Earth, and they were basically among us, and essentially called open season on all scrolls. If you see them, kill them. That type of thing could have had massive repercussions for the MCU, and they're just gonna let that just or pretend that didn't happen.
Or they could do what comic books have been doing forever, and they already introduced it into the live action. It's a different universe.
Retcon.
Oh god. If that means that we get if that means that we get Colby Smulders back as Hill, Maria Hill, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's 10 o'clock. We got to wrap things up right there. We got to end it right there. Thank you all for joining us for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Make sure you come back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, for another great episode from my friends, the great Daitokuji, GQ, and Simon Says. I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. Y'all know why.
Yeah.
Y'all know why.